Previously we saw that Mofan was somehow able to awaken the rare fire and even more rare lightning talents, but has decided to keep that a secret from everyone. Mofan would later join the monster hunters so that he can afford to buy gear that will allow him to upgrade his leveling pendant. However, the team encounters a dangerous evolving monster that threatens to kill them all. The story continues as we see the team of monster hunters realize that they are no match for the evolving wolf. Some members would like to retreat, but their captain reminds them of the innocent citizens that will be in danger if they do. The monster begins to evolve into a warrior-level thorn-faced wolf, so the captain decides they must act fast before it completes its mutation. The monster's blood begins to boil to the point where the ice is no longer effective, so their captain uses his powerful fire attack. They all breathe a sigh of relief when the monster stops moving, but must quickly defend themselves when the wolf attacks once again. Sayaki's water shield slows it for a moment, but Fanmo realizes it won't last and carries her to safety. The captain's level 3 fire magic seems to be less effective than before, and Sayaki's effort to protect the captain fails. The monster brushes off both ice and earth attacks as it continues its pursuit of the captain. As everyone begins to fear for the captain's life, Fanmo steps up to finally reveal his level 2 lightning magic. Fanmo attempts to stop it from evolving further, while the others take the opportunity to rescue the captain. The monster begins to overcome his lightning magic as well, but Fanmo is determined to outlast the beast. Everyone now fears death more than ever and again asks to retreat, while Fanmo holds it off. The captain can't believe their cowardice and explains that their lives mean nothing compared to the hundreds of thousands that will die if they run. He can't believe they call themselves monster hunters and praises Fanmo for his bravery. The captain's speech and Fanmo's bravery inspire the others to make the ultimate sacrifice. However, in that moment, the monster is submerged in water and the team sees that help from the association has finally arrived in the form of a man named Yanzo. He praises Fanmo on a job well done and instantly dominates the monster. Yanzo explains that it is now dead, and Mofan's pendant once again consumes its spirit. Fanmo is amazed to have seen mid-level magic, and Yanzo explains that he can see Fanmo becoming a mid-level mage one day too. Chai asks if they should sound the alarm since more monsters have been appearing recently, but Yanzo says he doesn't want to panic everyone and would like to investigate first. He is also impressed with their new member's performance, but Yuang is not pleased at all. That night, Mofan attempts to sneak back into his dorm when he is hugged by Zoe, who is grateful for his help in making the area safe again for her grandmother. Later, he notices that his pendant has been behaving differently since eating the wolf spirit, and sees that it has finally evolved to the spirit level, which means he will progress much faster. He is now more confident than ever that he will be able to reach level 3 on his fire talent before fighting the arrogant Yuang. The next day, Mofan gives his sister some money and explains that she can buy whatever she wants with it. She refuses to take it as she wants him to use it on himself, but Mofan explains that he simply got a part-time job and that mages can actually make money quite easily. She accepts his gift and explains that she has good news to tell him. She reveals that she has just awakened the healing talent, which is a surprise since beginners typically can only awaken element magic. White, dark, and dimensional magic are usually for higher level mages, but Zenzaya says there are some exceptions, and she happens to be one of them. She reveals that she knows he is doing dangerous things and she hopes to help him in the future. Mofan then explains that hunting is not too dangerous, but jokes that he will get himself hurt so she can practice her healing magic on him. Days later, Mofan thinks about how time is flying since he is so busy with school and monster hunting. Yang reminds him to stay focused since his duel with Yuang is approaching quickly, and informs him that Mizao has invited several famous and powerful people to watch. He intends for the duel to be part of Yuang's coming-of-age ceremony. Mofan is quite famous for being the top student at the top magical school, and dominating him in front of the entire city would prove that Yuang has no equal. Miss Tang informs him that the principal would like to see him, and Mofan uses the opportunity to ask if he could visit her home that night for advice on fire magic, which she agrees to. The principal explains that their duel is actually about more than just Yuang's coming-of-age celebration. He explains that it also involves the sacred spring. Mofan thinks about how the only time he has ever heard about it was when the mutated wolf had absorbed its power, causing it to evolve, and he becomes interested in training in it. The principal goes on to explain that anyone who trains there can quickly increase their powers, but the power of the spring has been diminishing over time. The city has a convention that permits access to only one top young mage each year. The school will recommend Mofan, but the local clans will choose Yuang, and their duel will likely determine which of the two get to train there. For Mizao, Yuang's victory will kill 3 birds with 1 stone. First, Yuang will prove his abilities to the city. Second, Mofan will be taught a lesson. And third, Yuang will gain access to the spring. Yuang has a huge advantage in training resources, and they only ask that Mofan try his best so that he can at least earn the school some recognition. Elsewhere, servants gossip about how the duel against Mofan is simply to make Yuang look good, and that Mofan is just a hoodlum that brought it on himself. They discuss how Mofan's father is a fool and raised his son the same way. Inside, Mizao explains to Ningsu that his adopted son Yuang would do anything for their family and that he will one day become her loyal assistant. She wonders why the duel has to be done in public. Mizao explains that a duel between the so-called best student in Sky Magic High School and the second strongest mage in their family behind her could never be a small event. Furthermore, Mofan has insulted him several times and he refuses to have mercy on him. That night, Mofan is atop a hill when he is approached by Ningsu, and he explains that he wanted to see the splendid stage her father has set up for his duel. She asks that he not show up to the fight since Yuang will not pull any punches. Her father adopted him off the streets at a young age and he will do anything for Mizao's approval, which leads her to believe he will come down on Mofan with all his might. She warns that Yuang will beat him so badly that he will be unable to take his final exam that is in less than a month. He refuses to run. He explains that his father has always done everything he could to help him and his sister their entire life, without a single complaint. He points out that even though Mizao is a terrible person that doesn't respect her decisions, Ningsu does not hate him. So an amazing father like his deserves all the respect he can give. Mofan had watched his father beg, watched him get mocked, insulted, and humiliated by others, but now has the chance to prove to everyone that his father is not a fool. On the day of the big event, Chai greets the other members of the Monster Hunters when Mofan arrives to say hello. Chai is very rude, claiming that Yuang will destroy him, and Mofan remembers that they don't recognize him without his disguise. Mofan stuffs his face with food when the chief greets him and is surprised to see that he has such an appetite before a fight. He asks again if he would like to join his army, but Mofan declines since he has no interest in living in the mountains. His classmates arrive and explain that they are there to cheer him on, but are weary since Mizao invited his father, making them think he is plotting something. Mofan, however, assures him that his father is only there to watch him win. Mizao would then give a speech about the bright future of the city and the duel he has set up to demonstrate that. Later, Mofan and Yuang enter the arena. Mr. Sheng points out that Yuang is carrying at least 3 magical gears, giving him a huge advantage. Mizao gives one more speech, but would rather just allow Yuang to demonstrate the results of his years of practice. Zhou can't believe that Mizao didn't even mention Mofan's name, and Bai points out that it's because he is simply there to compliment Yuang. The two duelists shake hands, and Yuang explains that Mofan will be bedridden for at least 3 months after the beating, but Mofan remains confident. The duel begins, and Mofan immediately counters Yuang's level 2 ice magic with a simple fire burst. However, his counterattacks are dodged easily, and he can't figure out why. He tries a few more times, and it becomes apparent to the teachers that he has on magical shoes that allow mages to move much faster. Yuang insults his weak abilities, saying he would rather not waste much time fighting him, and that Mofan needs to learn that there are people he shouldn't mess with. Yuang prepares his next attack, freezing the area around Mofan and making everyone realize that he has obtained level 3 ice magic. His ice storm covers the entire arena and puts out Mofan's flames. The principal wants to call the fight, but Mizao only has thoughts of making Mofan suffer for his insults. The audience has already made the decision that Yuang will win since he has managed to achieve so much, and that no one his age stands a chance. Mofan thinks about how powerful the ice magic is and how difficult it is making it for him to control his stars. However, as usual, he continues to persist and shocks everyone when he finally manages to reach a level 3 fire burst. Yuang is confident his shoes will get him to safety, but he is wrong as Mofan's flames reach him, causing a massive explosion. Yuang is badly injured, and the audience can't believe Mofan was able to fight evenly with someone from a privileged family. Yuang isn't done though. He laughs at how a loser like Mofan was able to make it to level 3, and reveals his full body magic armor. The instructors can't help but point out how unfair the match is when Yuang is using several magic items, and acknowledge that Mofan would have won under normal circumstances. Mizao explains that he wouldn't stop Mofan from using magic armor, and it's not his fault he doesn't have any. The chief instructor pleads for Mofan to stop fighting since the armor is fireproof, and Mofan has already proven his extraordinary abilities to everyone. Yuang says that he should listen to him and quit. He explains that his family has always believed that their money is part of what makes someone strong, and that Mofan should be more upset at his father for being a poor driver that can't give him anything. Mofan remembers the sacrifice his father made for him to get into magic school, and the constant encouragement he provided. He explains that his father has actually given him everything, and decides to show Yuang what real power is. Everyone is in disbelief as Mofan finally reveals his lightning talent. They don't understand how he can have 2 talents without even being a mid-level mage yet, and the monster hunters realize that Mofan and Fanmo are the same person. Yuang is more stunned than anyone, and Mofan explains that he has actually unlocked his level 3 lightning magic as well. As he uses it, Miss Tang explains that lightning magic is able to penetrate armor, and Mizao watches in despair as Yuang desperately tries to keep from being consumed by it. Moments later though, the battle ends and everyone can't get over how amazing it is that Mofan has 2 talents. Having the 2 most rare talents is incredible enough, but the fact that he has gotten to level 3 on both speaks to his determination. Yuan can hardly move, and Mofan confidently claims his victory. Thanks for watching